what's your opinion of what we're hearing are the final four for him, David?
So we just got word moments ago that now interest in the Cubs has waned. When we were after a big free agent and we didn't think we were going to get him, we would leak to the press that we're no longer involved and we've gone a different direction because we wanted to make sure that our fans were not built up in this anticipation and then we'd let them down.
Right.
So if you're told by the player that it's not going to work or you won't go to the years and dollars that are required, then you leak out the way the Cubs just did. The Giants, Dodgers, Angels, and Blue Jays apparently are the finalists. And yesterday, Rich, this is a great one. The rumor was out that he was in Dunedin touring the spring training facility. And that made me smile because in all 18 years, I never had one player asked to tour the spring training facility. That was not high on their list. I am not exactly sure that will be a difference maker for the Blue Jays, but I would expect him to stay in L.A. To me, it's either Dodgers or Angels. And I think from a respect standpoint, Rich, and people aren't talking about this enough, it's a very big blow to Angels when you lose a player to Dodgers. It's like going Mets-Yankees or Yankees-Mets. And I'm not sure that Shohei wants to do that to the faithful fans of the Angels.
No kidding. Interesting. And or I guess but the Dodgers would would put his cologne up on the big screen, right? I just love going to the Angels games, the last couple of years. You're just seeing all of Ohtani's stuff up on the screen and a ton of what is that Japanese cat food? The cat treats, a favorite number one cat treats of Japan. I mean, everyone would do that. So after all this, you think it's entirely possible that he just stays put?
Well, I want to bring you back to when Shohei first entered Major League Baseball and was signed by the Angels. You may recall that it was a jump ball, or so we all thought,
right?
Because we all only had international slot money to sign Ohtani. We made a trade with the Yankees as a Marlin to give them extra international slot money because we knew we weren't going to get Ohtani, and the Yankees thought they had a chance to. When he signed with the Angels, we got a memo from the commissioner's office saying, whichever team signs Shohei Ohtani, you are only signing him for this current contract with this amount of money. Any promise for any future money will be a violation and you will get in trouble. That was the concept. My view has been, as well as many others in the industry, when he signed with the Angels originally, that there may have been some understanding that upon free agency, he would have a contract. Is that coming to pass? I have a small feeling that Artie Moreno is going to get a right to match, where Ohtani goes out and gets an offer, goes back to Moreno and says, here's what the number is. You match this number, and I will respect our deal, and I'll stay an Angel. That's always been in the back of my head and so many other executives with whom I worked and still speak, and it's going to be fascinating to see how it plays out.
All right, now the question is timing, because if I'm not mistaken, the entirety of the winter meetings and everything else is grinding to a screeching halt until this gets decided, David, right?
Well, you're getting some stuff on the perimeter, which is
we don't
really
care
not
about the
important.
perimeter, David. Who cares about the perimeter? You know
yeah,
what I mean?
Exactly.
Okay.
Major League Baseball has an entire press room at the winter meetings where big announcements can be made, and you can call them and say, we have this signing. We want use of the full room. And baseball, the commissioner's office, wants big signings now because you can take the news away from NBA and NFL. The problem is players and agents and teams don't really care so much about that, about winning the news of the week. So no one's going to rush into a deal with Ohtani or rush the physical. The physical is a 2 to 3 day issue. So he has to come to an agreement, then have the physical, then get the results, then get himself to Nashville, and then do a huge media appearance, which he doesn't like anyway. So I don't think it will be announced in Nashville at the winter meetings because that's not his style. He didn't even do an interview when he won MVP. Do you remember that?
Yeah,
he said there were technical issues.
So everybody in the media, and certainly in baseball media, should stake out MRI tubes in Southern California, San Francisco, and Toronto, is what you're saying, to see if he walks into a place to get checked on, David.
So here's another nugget for you.
He's not going to telehealth his physical, is he, David?
It
mean,
depends where he is. We let Ichiro do his physical in Japan.
okay.
So it is not completely out of the question that there could be a physical in Japan. I don't know where Shohei is other than Dunedin. I do not believe that I would get in the way of him wanting to do a physical in a place where he is versus where we want him to be. I just would need to make sure that my doctors were a part of the results and got to see it. And if they had a question or a problem and wanted to put hands on him, that would be a condition precedent to the deal being completed. So at some point, he's going to have to go to the city in which he signs. And that's why I also think Nashville is not exactly on his itinerary.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.